Okay, round 2. Playing first. Yeah, I've got a slam. Keep this one. Got both colors. Got solid two drop into 3-drop play. Looking pretty good. Opponent mulls to 6 and then keeps. Invokers seem pretty good in this deck, where we don't have a lot of late game stuff going on, so just having like big mana sinks is pretty nice. So how badly do I want to get a Sentinel here? I think I'd just play an Invoker and then pass. I'd rather have a couple bodies on the board, I think. That is a lot of turn against. Ooh, Vile Aggregate. It's a good one. Definitely going to swing into it. See how he blocks. I don't think he does, but even if he does, we get to, or even if he doesn't, we get to follow up with Call the Scions. Okay, so we'll just let the damage get through, play Call the Scions, and be fine with that. This thing gets trample, has trample and ingest, so we're going to let it get in. It's okay. Molten Nursery. Huh. Should be interesting. Haven't seen that cast all that much. Wonder if opponent's playing 3-color. We may never know. Territorial Baloth. Yeah, that seems like something I want to play. I think I'd still rather get the aggregate off the board, so I'm going to swing with both of these guys again. Alright, looks like opponent is ready to block. So, trade a Sure Strike for an aggregate, which is a pretty fair trade in my mind. Don't get to play the Baloth, but that's going to be just fine. If he wants to do this again, too, playing our Baloth is going to be much better for us. Yeah, I love this. This is great. Let's see if he's 3-color. Could be. Black, maybe? Grixis, perhaps? Hey. Guessed correctly. Pretty safe guess, though, considering these are the 3 colors that have the vast majority of the devoid spells. Pretty interested to see how well this Molten Nursery plays for my opponent. I mean, he's got a kill target ready at the moment. Touch of the Void on Territorial Baloth, and he gets to use the Nursery. Well, that worked pretty well for him. Not much I can do against that. Okay. Opponent's just burning through cards at this point, so I'm feeling pretty comfortable with this. Alright, let's go land, invoker, and I guess we can pass. I don't see a real need to swing into his Kozilek Sentinel with my invoker. Oracle of Dust. Alright, so he gets to kill my Scion. Guess we'll just sack it in response. Alright. Well, I mean, the later the game goes, we're still pretty good. Blighted Woodland. Yeah, it's going to work. I mean, that brings us up to 7. So, just going to have to do some pretty spicy stuff here. No plays, no attacks. All right. Recruit's pretty good. No reason to attack yet. All right, processor's pretty big, and we have had something exiled, so that's a bit of a bummer, but it's all right. Bummers happen. So opponent's out of gas, which is good news. All right, so opponent deals 1 to us, gets a big fat threat. And, well, I mean, we can straight up just steal a processor and swing with Shatter Skull Recruit. Seems pretty good to me, actually. No cards left in my opponent's hand. I mean, he doesn't have a great block for processor, and he's pretty got to be tempted to double block the recruit. I think we're going to end up doing that. All right. I mean, I can officially start using this stuff now too, though, which is pretty good. So let's say I steal a processor. Yeah, I don't think it's quite time yet to use the invoker stuff. I feel like this is a pretty decent opportunity to get in with processor and Shatterskull Recruit, although we can only deal 11, bring our opponent to 10. He can smash back for 15, bring us to 4, but he's in top deck mode. I don't know. This is a challenging one, actually. I feel like I want to turn against here, though. It just seems like a lot of potential damage. Like I said, his blocks aren't great. Like, I'll trade a Sure Strike for an Oracle of Dust pretty happily. Certainly will trade it for an aggregate, especially since he doesn't even... Oh, I see. He does get to kill it, but trading an aggregate, I think, is worth it. This is currently a... It's going to be a 4-5. Yeah, we'll kill the aggregate, I think. I guess I kind of 2-for-1 myself there, which sucks, but I don't know. Maybe that wasn't right. Sentinel's not really a big deal, though. Yeah, maybe that line didn't work out that well. You can get in for like 10 here, which is pretty beefy. I mean, he should have attacked there, definitely. But I guess we go in chill out mode now. No attacks. Well, I mean, this isn't going to work for him. He's going to have to start attacking. I think we take a turn off to get some blockers. Miasma is pretty painful. Just going to hope he doesn't have it. See, the problem is I can't protect Invoker from Miasma now. I can instant speed steal a processor with the Scion tokens, but I'm not sure what that does for me. Alright. Him not doing anything is pretty interesting. Alright, I mean, we can basically just sit behind this wall of Invoker and be fine. Vestige. Not too intimidated by that at the moment. Dealing 1 damage there. That's interesting. Okay. I mean, we'll just pump in response. Once again, no cards left in our opponent's hand. Alright, let's play some more lands. I mean, I could technically play Predator by sacking Scions and still use Invoker, but I think we're just on the Invoker plan, basically. I can also instant speed kill his Ruination Guide. Should not be overlooked. It's ready to attack with a processor now. Well, I can just chump block that, so I think I will. Okay. So the question is, do I want to kill the Ruination Guide or do I want to deal 3 to my opponent? I've got my opponent on a 4-turn clock. I think we can kill our opponent first. I think. Oh! Well, now I can't. Click too fast. Screwed up that play. That's terrible. That's a horrible disappointment. All right, well, that's a huge bummer. Totally just missed my trigger. Man, if it wasn't so essential to victory this game, I don't think I would be as disappointed, but unfortunately it is possibly the difference between winning and losing this game, so that is horrific. Absolutely horrific. What can I do now? Wow. All right, let's keep my head in the game. I don't want to get too demoralized. I've got to figure out a way to win now. It's pretty demoralizing, though, I got to admit. Pretty demoralizing. So what is my plan now that I've done that? Man, that was real bad. That was real bad. I don't know. I'm wasting a lot of time, too, so I have to figure it out. Awful. Man, I don't know what the best play is. That's the worst part. I really don't know what the best play is because now I think I have to kill his Ruination Guide. Man, that's so terrible. Yeah, that was unfortunate. Oh, my opponent gets to loot too. Yeah, this is gonna be a real rough one to win. I should have hit my opponent for 3. Man, what a trigger mess. What a horrible trigger mess. This is game 1 too. All right. Yeah, that's unfortunate for us. I really wish I didn't screw that up so bad. Just a big bummer of a play. All right. Well, no choice. Now I'm thinking I gotta kill Ruination Guide, I guess. If he didn't have a play there, I would say no, but I don't think that I can. I don't think I can let him. Honestly, I don't even know anymore. Just missing that just absolutely changed everything. I feel like. I think I'm gonna take a turn off here to play some more chump blockers. All right. Sorry, had to deal with my cats. Now I'm all distracted. So he attacks with some stuff. All right, let's block here. Man, I wish I could have just won this game by playing intelligently. And the sad thing is, like, I'm on a, like, I got a time issue now, too. It's really terrible. I, like, actually have to hurry things up, you know? Maybe if I steal the unblockable guy with a couple pump things. The fact that my opponent just gets to loot nonstop is just so bad for us. Just so bad. My opponent's just going to be able to make plays while I don't. Oh man, that's a huge bummer too. Man, I'm so disappointed in myself. I really wish I didn't throw this game away. Such a simple way to throw the game away too. Who would have thought it'd be that easy? Yeah, that's not good. All right. I guess the play is block the processor, pump, double block the processor, and pump my invoker. One of them. Opponent just gets to loot like crazy. Man, Stone Fury would have been nice. All right. Chump blocker's not bad. And I'm back on trying to race my opponent, basically. Man, my opponent's got to have pretty close to lethal at this point, I assume. I've only got 8 cards left in my deck, too. I mean, I guess at least I'm ahead on time. I've got that going for me. Kind of wish I had a... Well... Yeah, that's alright. Trying to think if my opponent has lethal yet. I mean, I can cast Swell of Growth plus use Invoker, which is pretty good. Yeah, it's a bummer. Still incentivized to play the game out because I really wish I could protect it. If there was only a way I could protect it. Yeah, it's a pretty big bummer. Guess I play this like that. Maybe he attacks with everything and I can kill him with a turn against. I don't know how I deal 5 damage since he doesn't have any 5 damage attackers though. Which is kind of the issue. I'm really kicking myself for I honest to God cannot get over how disappointed I am that I threw the game away in one misclick. That's all it took was a misclick. Wait a second. If I had a land, I could kill my opponent. How much does that suck? Oh man, this was a rough one. This was a rough one. If I'd drawn a land there, I could have killed my opponent. Wow. That is, that's painful. God, that's painful. That hurts. What do I do? I'm wasting time, and I can't waste time. I don't know what to do. I can't beat my opponent with an Akum Hellkite. I guess I wait. I don't know what to do. I wish I could kill my opponent. God, I wish I could kill my opponent. Yeah, man. Oh, that's sorry. I keep going back to it. That's just such a rough misplay. I really didn't want it to be, you know, the game, but it straight up was the game. I feel like our opponent could have killed us so many times is the really disappointing part. That doesn't make sense to me. So it like dragged this on longer than it needed to, you know? Yeah, all right, let's just take the loss. All right. All right. So let's just forget this game ever happened. Try and go into game 2 with a fresh mind. Forget that I made a horrific misplay. Game-breaking one. And let's figure out what we want to do here in game 2. I just don't have a sideboard, so... Actually, this Sure Strike is just so nasty. I want to bring in a second one. I think it's just straight up better than Swell of Growth. I think Swell of Growth is actually just not that good of a card. I've played it, I guess only 3 times, but I've been disappointed every time with Swell of Growth. Even in a landfall deck, it just seems so, I don't know, not that good, I guess. All right, let's try this again. All right. This hand's not very good, but we're going to keep it. I was hoping for something a little bit more aggressive, but we're going to have to settle for this. There we go. Right on cue. So we can play a Shatter Skull Recruit next turn, which is pretty good. Problem is, if our opponent plays an Ingester, he can ingest kill our Recruit, which is worrisome. Alright, well, Invoker's a good draw. We'll sack one of our 1/1s and get out a 4/4 now. Oh yeah, our opponent runs horribly awry too, so I guess that was something that we needed to be conscious of. Alright, he's got the Ingester now. So that is the thing that can kill the Shatter Skull. Guess we just play land and swing. Yeah, I mean, we don't want him to... I don't want him to ingest. Because if he ingests, then he can kill this thing. And I feel like this thing is safe if he can't ingest. I mean, he can still, like, Touch of the Void my Invoker, I guess. Sky Spawner, alright. Opponent's just got a grip of cards, but has missed a lot of land drops, I guess. I just don't want to trade a Invoker for a... Just don't want to trade an Invoker for a 2/1. I could have... I don't think turning against the Scion token's correct either. Opponent did find a land. Thankfully it's a tapped one, which is of good benefit for us. I'm not sure about this attack. Guess I take it. Just because I'm in a really good position to take it. Yeah, I don't know. That was weird. Tide Drifter. Well, Tide Drifter's a little more annoying than you might think. And outnumber. I guess we steal Scion token in response. So Invoker lives. I want my Invoker to stick around. Having a 7/7 potentially if I rip a land here, I think is pretty important. Alright, I like preemptive concessions, but it seems fine with me. Yeah, opponent's deck seems really good. Like, his entire deck is devoid. I wish I had better plays against devoid. I really kind of don't. I think this is as good as we're going to get, so let's just run it again. Alright, keeping this hand. Processor's certainly not at its best here, but having the slide runner is pretty important. Opponent mulligans to 6. Keeps it 6 on the play. Alright, well, at the very least we're going to be hitting our landfall. Alright, slide runner's looking pretty good now if it can survive. With Swell of Growth, we get to attack for 6 next turn. Oh no. That's a rough one. Well, Do you see the dilemma? I do see a dilemma here. So the dilemma is I have a choice, and the choice is, do I want to get in for a ton of damage, or do I want to protect? It's such bad loss of value. I'm just gonna get in for 1,000,000 damage, because trading a Swell of Growth for a Molten Nursery trigger is like just not good enough. We just gotta get in 1,000,000 points of damage here. I admit it's not ideal, but at the same time, it does let us play Recruit next turn, which could be good. But we're almost out of gas. I guess having the Rune Processor now is better. Yeah, unsurprisingly, my guy is extremely dead, since my opponent's deck is essentially all Devoid spells. No surprises there. Alright, let's play big man. I guess opponent's only got 3 spells left, so that's not the worst. Yeah, it's pretty sad, but nothing to be done. I wish I could play both, but I'll play the Watcher for now. It seems more important to get Processor down next turn. Yeah, it's pretty good against us, unfortunately. Or more good on his board, I should say. At least my opponent's out of gas and I've got a huge fatty coming. Wish I could process. I don't know what that means, so I'm going to block like this. I take that as my opponent's got the process thing. I actually don't know. I'm just confused that he... I feel like because he has the 5 damage thing, he wanted me to do that. Does that make sense? Alright. Let's get in for 7. I think I'm actually going to wait a turn on the Invoker. And the reason is if I play Invoker now, he can just kill it. So if I wait a turn, he can't kill it, right? Because I can play it and then pump. Is that right? I get 2 extra mana. I'm going to have 6, 7, 8, 9, 7. No, I guess that's not true. I'm actually going to be still a mana short, but I'm just going to wait on it anyway, I think. I'm almost 100% sure he's got the 5 damage process thinger. Getting some more green mana and deck thinning seems fine to me. All right. It's a pretty decent little thing. So I'm at 9. Like I said, I can't play Invoker, and I'm going to wait another turn. If I get one more mana, I can... It's got to be 100% sure he's got the 5 damage thing. Otherwise, that Ruination Guide attack doesn't make sense. At least now I can, like, steal his dude. Maybe he burns his own guy. Well, he should have burned his own guy, so he didn't. Oh, I guess he would have died anyway. All right, well, stole the match because that error in game one was wrecking my morale and spirit. So I'm glad that I could come back in games 2 and 3. I think my opponent made some kind of. He made a couple questionable decisions, I think, in game one. But Molten Nursery, I guess. I mean, it played. I think. Okay, this is the best deck I've ever I could conceive of for Molten Nursery, and it still was only okay. It wasn't like busted. So I think in a deck where it's like, can you even think of non-devoid spells my opponent had? I'm having a hard time coming up with non-devoid spells, honestly. So just the fact that he was playing it where it's at its best and it was only okay still makes me think Molten Nursery is a pretty mediocre spell overall. But I'm glad we could steal a victory here. Let's go to the finals.